Hello, everyone. I love how we just pop up here sometimes. Hey, awesome members of the Nest. I am here with the amazing Lakita Wilson, who is the author of Last Chance Dance, and Maud Amanda. Amanda, thank you for joining us this evening. Lakita, thank you as well.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We're going to talk about your awesome new contemporary recently released. And it's so cute. Are you excited about it? Did you do anything
I'm like
to celebrate
super
release week?
excited about it because I feel like I've been writing this book forever, and like so many plots have like filtered in and out that I'm like, okay, it's finally here. Like, this is it. This is the moment. We have our love interest. All these things are happening. Like, yeah, super excited. Yeah.
For anybody who's not familiar with you or your work, can you give us a little bit of an elevator pitch?
Yeah. I write a little bit of everything. So I love nonfiction, and I wrote about the Black Lives Matter movement, Colin Kaepernick. I'm doing some things with like hip hop and feminism coming up, and I write middle grade. And this is my debut YA. So, Last Chance Dance is all about having a good time. So it's like a little bit of heartbreak, but after we get through that rough patch, it's all about good and bad dates and figuring out what you like. So
we can all relate to it then.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this book is set at a high school.
It is.
And you were previously an educator.
I was not high school. I am not that brave, but I taught elementary, and even on the elementary level, I was like, all right, like, am I cool enough to be here? Like, these are fourth graders, but like, I don't know. So
you're not. It's okay. You're never cool enough.
But at the college that I teach at now, there's a high school on site, and I'm like, all right, because I had such a bumpy ride in high school that like I'm a little intimidated sometimes. I was not the cool kid at all.
Have any of your experiences revolving around education inspired parts of your story?
A lot of what was happening in my high school sort of filtered into the book. So I literally was talking to my best friend yesterday, and I was like, do you remember like all of these times where like we probably were supposed to be learning, but like we're like literally all talking to each other and cracking all these jokes and like questioning why our teacher had on clogs, and she's like defending herself. It was like all this banter. Like, there weren't a boatload of things that I like loved about high school, but like all of those side conversations, like those in-class moments where we were just like having fun, cracking jokes, like that was my favorite part, and that made it into the book. Yeah.
I love that because I had a rough go in high school too.
Yeah.
I think some folks, formal education just isn't for us. It's okay. Yeah. Now that I'm older, I appreciate it a lot more.
So like when you have some distance between it, sometimes like you look back and you're like, oh no, like I really did have a fun time. But then you get reminded of like the really awful things that happened too, and you're like, it wasn't as fun as I thought it was. It wasn't as fun as I thought it was.
I also feel like after you've been out of it for a while, you kind of look back on high school through like rose tinted glasses where you're like, oh yeah, no, that was like an amazing time. And then you're like, wait,
no,
like no, it really kind of wasn't.
Let me tell you, I don't know if you guys have ever had the entire high school laugh at you, but like that literally happened. I don't want to blame Aaliyah. I'm a big Aaliyah fan, but like she like had this music video. She had these like army orange and red army fatigue pants in the video. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you think they're cool? Okay, so just wait a second. I see those pants in a discount store. So I'm like, oh, okay, getting my little Leah, vibe on. I get to school and I just hear like little trickles of laughter. I go to class. By the time I come out, it's like hallways of people laughing. And I'm like, really? Like you guys were all, no one said anything about like these pants in the video, but like I wear them and all of a sudden, like it wasn't even like a little bit of laughter either. It was like full on grabbing my belly, falling over, laughing. And I was like sweating like every time the bell rang because I knew I had to go back out in that hallway and get laughed at again. So yeah, horrible.
What did you do with the pants? You never wore them again. What did you do?
No, I threw them away as soon as I got home. I was like, that is it. And you know what else just burns my soul is that some kid comes to school the next school year in like yellow and gray, like army fatigue pants. And I was like, wow, he is going to get it. Cause like, I'm like remembering what happened to me. No one said a thing. So I'm like, oh, like, is it me? Like, you guys just hate me? Or like, what is it? Because they had a field day with me in those pants, but no one said anything about the yellow army fatigue pants. So I don't know. Just my own personal tragedy.
I think that biological and femme presenting people just happen to get judged more.
I'd have to agree with you.
It's true. You had mentioned, by the way, that you write nonfiction.
I do.
And in fact, you've done biographies on Colin Kaepernick and Lizzo, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the process of writing nonfiction?
Okay. So to write nonfiction, I really believe you have to be super nosy. Like you have to want to know every detail about everything. And that is me. Like I will listen in on conversations. Like I can be just like sitting in a restaurant and like the table next to me, it sounds kind of interesting over there. And so I'm literally tuned in. And so I love history. I love the here and now. And I love every detail about just a wide variety of topics. So my publisher actually asked me if I wanted to write about the Black Lives Matter movement and Colin Kaepernick like at the same time. And I was like, yes, yes, I do. But the hip hop book, that came about because I was like thinking about the feminist movement and how like when we think about certain feminists, it's like it's very academic. And I can remember feeling really, really empowered by certain rap songs. I mean, there were plenty of them that I can name. And like some of the rappers were actually like shamed and like all of these things. And I feel like a lot of the things that they did was really brave, really ahead of their time. And so I just said, oh, why don't I like make a case for this? Like, no, they were important feminists as well. It's just the delivery was different.
Well, I mean, it's art as well.
Yeah. And
in many ways, it's high art. Like
it's art, and it's a way of meeting people at their level. So like you know, teens, I was a teenager like in the Little Kim era. And so of course, I was listening to her album and it was so many, you know, like I wasn't me, and maybe other teens were, but like I wasn't going to the library checking out like, you know, feminist rhetoric. You know, I just wasn't doing that. But I was listening to that Little Kim album and I got a lot of tidbits from there that like that still hold true today. So she was given a lot of you know, a lot of people had a lot to say about what she was saying, but I'm sorry, a lot of that really empowered women and helped even out that power dynamic between men and women. She was calling out a lot of stuff.
Well, and she was using harsh language, but sometimes that gets you heard. In fact, of course, it will get you heard.
It was really provocative and really bold, and I feel like that gave her an audience. It set her apart, and so like we're all listening to it, but at the same time, like there are gems in there. Like it's funny because my mom like was like, "What are you listening to?" And she like listens on my little CD Walkman, and she's like, "Oh, what is this?" And like tosses it out the window, and I'm like, first of all, you're littering. Second of all, like I like went and got that little Kim CD like the next day again. And I'm like, you will not hold me down for long. So because there was just, I don't know, she really made me feel empowered, and a lot of other women. She definitely deserves her flowers.
Absolutely. It's kind of a privilege that you got to work on that as well.
On the
book.
Mean the what? I'm sorry.
On the book. On the hip hop book.
The hip hop book.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that one I actually I came up with the idea. So like the Colin Kaepernick book and Black Lives Matter, the publisher was like, all right, like these are, this is the topic, here's some bullet points. But like with the hip hop book, I got to like really think about what were the important topics that I wanted to discuss in that book. So yeah, I'm super excited that my publisher backed me on that. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Forgive me, I'm leaking my sinuses. Amanda, can you take number 5?
So your Reels and TikToks are fantastic. What parts of social media do you like most as an author, and how do you feel it helps you connect with readers?
So TikTok in general is probably going to just go down as my favorite social media ever. And I think it's like the theater kid in me. It allows me to be, to just act, to basically be like a little actress. Like I'm always impersonating Whitney Houston. I'm always taking these like sound bites and like making it connect to writing and books, but it's still like me just swimming in my love of pop culture. I'm gonna find like Whitney Houston snapping back at a reporter and just like make it make sense for like whatever is happening in my life at that time. So that's my favorite. It combines all my loves of just being silly. A lot of those TikToks are ridiculous. And as a child who was formerly bullied, sometimes I'm surprised that I just keep putting those out there, because I'm always like, someone's probably like, what is she doing? But like, I love making TikToks. It is so much fun because like with Instagram's great, but a lot of it is like smoke and mirrors, where it's like, oh, hot girl holding up like something, or like hot guy just like doing something, or he's like, but you can put a lot of filters on that, and you can put a lot of filters on TikTok, but a lot of your personality comes through, I think, on TikTok. And so to me, it's like, if I'm going to spend my time on social media, it's there. Definitely.
I have a love-hate relationship with TikTok.
A lot of people do.
And social media in general, but like really TikTok. And I don't know why exactly, but I don't even have it. Like, I mean, I see it when people, I genuinely do not have the app. I only see TikToks if people like post the TikToks like on Facebook or like to Instagram.
Yeah.
Or I send it to the group chat.
Oh yeah, or through the group chat. So like that's the only way I really watch them. But like, and I will fall down rabbit holes sometimes, but like,
well, that's the problem though.
That's probably why I hate it, because I fall down rabbit holes and I'm like, turn off your phone.
It would be great if you could just watch 3 TikToks and be done with it. But like 3 hours later, you're like, one more. And then you're sending your friends like 8 different TikToks and they're like, all right, I'm trying to work. Like, what are you doing? So, and then, or the worst case scenario, you send it to them and then they get started on the rabbit hole because now they're in the app, or like, they click on it and now they're watching a bunch of TikToks. So it does take up a lot of time, I will say, to make them and to watch them. But it is fun.
I love TikTok. I'm gonna come out there and just say I love TikTok. I love the videos. I even love like the still images. I will sit there and swipe for hours.
Oh,
no
the
shame.
carousel.
Oh yeah.
There's always the most epic story. First of all, a lot of those people who are making those carousel stories, they need to just go ahead and go down. Like they need to go into a pipeline of like TikTok stories to novelists, because I get sucked in every time, literally.
And it's my FYP is very diverse. At the moment, it's Pedro Pascal. Okay, let's be honest. I'm on Pedro Pascal edit TikTok. I can't get off. I don't want to. It's fine.
I love the honesty.
But I don't see very much else. But because it's an FYP and the algorithm shows you things that you want to see, it's been beautiful. Like the cooking videos that I get, like I would say that I'm only 10% on book talk. I am on travel talk.
Yeah.
I am on like UFO snark talk. Oh yes. TikTok is billions of videos deep. Anything you want is there.
I will say the couple of videos I watched, I did really enjoy Nun Talk because that was hilarious.
Nun Talk is fantastic.
Nun Talk?
Oh yeah. The nuns are on TikTok.
All right, that's it. Go into the search bar immediately because I need to know what they're talking about.
Like Franciscan nun TikTok or whatever.
I'm not sure. Like one of the first ones I ever saw was just like these nuns like running around. I don't remember what was happening. One of them was like watering something, and this other one like came up and scared her. So these are like, I don't know, 60, 70-year-old nuns. They start like, I don't know, spraying. It was funny. I don't remember what it was. It was a while ago. But the nuns are on TikTok.
They are rebranding themselves. Like, think about pre-TikTok. You're like, oh, okay, a nun. They are super serious and, making lots of big sacrifices. And now they're like scaring each other in gardens on TikTok. Like, that is a pivot.
I've also watched a nun do the big boy sound, but talking about obviously her Lord and Savior. It was remarkably good. It was the best.
I didn't find that one. See, now I feel like the need to download this app just to find the nuns again.
Yeah, cut the live. I need to go on nun talk immediately.
But Lakita, you wanted to know about UFO talk?
First of all, I love anything that has to do with UFOs. I have big conversations with my friends about them.
Thank you. Okay. We are going to deviate from our regular programming. Okay, so spy balloon makes sense. The 3 objects that were recently downed doesn't make sense. Where's the debris? They should be able to find the debris. We can find the Titanic, but we can't find that in 2020.
Yeah, everything. I have a hard time trusting a lot of things because I'm like, what's the real story that you guys don't want us to know? Like, what? Okay, Area 51. Why? Like, we can walk anywhere else in the country. We can't go inside of this, like, blocked off area. Like, what is there? What's happening? Like, I need to know. And it's like, is someone gonna like take one for the team? I thought it was gonna happen. Remember when everyone was like, forget it, like we're storming the area. Like, what are you gonna do? You can't stop all of us. What happened to that? It was all talk?
All talk.
That's
wouldn't be able to anyway. But
on that subject of UFOs, can I say that I just made a purchase? And my family is horrified, but I'm happy with it. TikTok made me buy moon boots. Do you know what moon boots are?
Are they like the children's toy?
No. That's actually really fun. I need them to go ahead and bring that back. But no, they're like these big, bulky boots. You look like an anime character. I don't know. Like, you're just walking around with these oversized boots. They say moon boots on them. And like, you're supposed to wear them with like, I don't know. Fashion talk is telling everyone to get these moon boots. I did it, and then I wasn't brave enough to wear them anywhere. So they're just like sitting in my room looking at me. They're like, "Hi, I'm here."
Wear them grocery shopping
or something. I'm like, I took the time out of my day, but TikTok is enhancing my life and ruining it at the same time.
Fashion is totally made up. Social constructs don't mean anything. You should just wear your moon boots.
I need to.
You should have worn them to that author event.
I thought about it because I was like, I mean, at what point? But then I had on this like, so I basically wore the outfit from the book. So I don't know if the moon boots would have like went with it, but that tutu was big enough. I don't know if I could have done like big tutu and big boots. I don't know.
I think that would have worked. Giant moon boots, fluffy tutu skirt.
It would have been a conversation piece. Totally. Yeah.
And it would be one of those things where people wouldn't ask,
Oh no, I don't know those type of people. They would have been like, "Hi, question for the author. Any reason why you chose to wear those moon boots today?" And then I would have been forced to answer. So,
oh my God, it would have been the camo orange pants all over again.
I didn't learn my lesson, clearly. Like, I'm just, right. It's media that's making me take all these risks.
About Last Chance Dance, though. I need to know, is this like an actual thing? Are there last chance dances?
Yeah. Okay. So when I started writing the book, I only knew that it was a college thing. And it's like, in particular, a lot of like Ivy League colleges and universities, they have this last chance dance, because they're like working hard in school and they get all the way up into the end. They get all the way up to the end and they're like, oh my God, like I might not see these people again. So let me like hurry up and date everyone in this like really short frame like of time. And so they go on all of these whirlwind dates and then they show up at the dance with someone or no one at all, because some people are super anti last chance dance and they're like, no, we're just going as like a group, whatever. But it's basically a time to date everyone you did not get a chance to date while you were in college. So I knew that going in and I thought it was funny. I was like, hey, I'm just going to like do the high school version of this. And then when it came time to like promote the book and I started using the last chance dance hashtag, I was like, oh, they are doing this in high school. Like this is a thing. So I'm excited. I would like to be the one to just like pop up at people's schools like, hi, this is Ashton Kutcher. You are punked. And now like you are getting a last chance dance from me. Like, let's go. And then do it.
I have an idea. We call Netflix. We asked to talk to Nick Lachey, obviously.
Oh my God. Okay. No, you don't understand. You don't understand. It's just, well, the thing is, Nick Lachey is hosting Perfect Match by himself. So I say we give Vanessa Lachey the Last Chance Dance dating show.
Let's do that.
Where is she? I need her to have.
I don't know. That was really sus. I have definitely not seen every single episode of that show. No.
Of what? Perfect Match?
Yes.
I've been waiting to
New
get
episode released yesterday, folks. Just
I've been waiting to get to the Bartiz scenes, but I don't feel like I'm gonna be able to get properly invested until like Bartiz is in it, because I am not a fan. And so I'm not a fan of Bartiz. And so I want to be able to like scream to the top of my lungs with him on screen, and he's not in it yet. So
I'm deeply confused by them pushing Damien. Because I'm like,
oh, what happened? Damien was super nice for a while. And then I don't know if it was like, well, now I'm a reality TV star, so let me go get a Porsche. Like what happened?
I think that he was like that from the beginning, but he's in this one too. So
I know. And I hate him too. I hate him too because he just pivoted into this awful person. But you're probably right. You don't just like turn into an awful person. You wanted to be that awful person all along. You just didn't have the platform.
It's true. And I preferred Loved is Blind because I'm like, oh, this could potentially be a lovely show. With Perfect Match, I believe the very first thing that I sent like my friendship group was, are the straights okay? And yet I can't stop watching. And they're not, by the way, if anybody was wondering.
I don't I feel like Perfect Match is like all the people we hate in one show, and they're just like icky. Like I don't like Love is Blind feels more wholesome, but like you're gonna get some like drama. But like this is like, hey, we need an extra 15 minutes of fame, please. Like add another show. I'm just not invested. I don't know.
I'm not like I'm gonna watch the whole thing, but
I mean I'm going to, obviously, because when they followed up Love is Blind with the ultimatum, I was like, that's it. That's it. Take my money, rev up my Netflix fee. I don't care what you do. I need for them to never take a break. When that season ends, the next day, I need another season of the ultimatum. They are banging out hits. You're right. They need to produce Last Chance Dance and put them on an island. Let's do it.
Even like adult, we can just age it up a little bit. It's fine.
Or do it during spring break.
Yeah. Oh, that would be fantastic.
Spring break.
I'm willing to
getting
write
picked next.
Email on your behalf.
It's my dream. A girl can dream big. Please.
I love this next question. I think it's super cute, like adorably sickly cute. It's perfect. Amanda, can you take number 2?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you wrote a post recently about rebranding the Happily Ever After and how important that is, especially in YA. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like whenever we have those happily ever afters, it's like, yeah, like, and they lived happily ever after for now. We don't get extra pages to like see what happens like 3 months down the road, like after. And so I just feel like we don't really need to buy into the happily ever after, like, as in this person is my love forever, because it can change. Like, what if one day you wake up and you're like, you know what? I cannot take this person like picking the broccoli out of their teeth one more day. I am going to scream. Like, you should be able to reevaluate what is your happily ever after. And not only that, don't assign it to a person, because it's like, I'm happy for now. And that now could last 10 years. It's fine. But can I be happily ever after inside? Like, can I be happily ever after? And so I'm sitting here like advocating for this. And obviously, like, with every breakup, I have fell to pieces. So like I need to tell this to myself. But like we need more of that, of just like, why are we trying to keep things going long after it has expired? Be happy. Don't be like miserable for no reason to show everyone like, oh, I've been together for like, I don't know, 20 years. Like, not if you're like miserable. That's not a flex. So
I like that. Your relationships are like yogurt. If they go off, get new yogurt.
yeah, I mean, come
on. In the book, Layla is getting over her first heartbreak. So there's the horrible, and then it's like light and fluffy. Yeah. But in that, and we were just talking about the happily ever now. Mm-hmm. What lessons did you want to impart kind of to your readers, if at all, to help them personally deal with that?
That I guess like things that not to take away from the hurt, but it's like you can be hurt and feel all the things and also know that that hurt doesn't last forever. I don't know of anything that has happened to me where I'm like, it doesn't feel easier, or it doesn't feel like I've like moved past it when some time and distance has been placed in between it. And so it's kind of like when you break up with a boy, especially the first boy, you're like, oh my God, or girl, right? Or anyone. You're like, oh, this is the end of the world. But it's really not. And especially at like 16, 17, 18, that's when the fun starts. Like, you haven't even gotten to the club yet. Like, so I'm like, you have options, and what you like at a certain age like changes. And that's also why I'm sort of like an advocate for like happily ever now, because I'm like, I'm turning 40 in April. What I liked at 27 was not even like what I want now. So it's like, just reevaluate, like know that like hurt eases up, it'll get better, but just be open to embracing the get better. Like, if you sort of wallow in that like pain, then you're gonna still be in that place when 3 months later, or in Layla's case 3 days later, like you could be in a place of being proactive about what happens in your life. Dev, like, hey, I like Dev, but like he is not the end all to be all. Like, he can break up with you, you can find somebody that is just as great, if not better. And it happens every time. Every time that I personally think that it won't happen again, it happens again. And it's like, and you're always like, ooh, this feels a little better than the last, so I just want readers to embrace the fact that they hold ownership of their life and what happens.
That's 100% true. And I think it probably comes back to like loving yourself first.
Yeah.
Because yourself is your longest relationship.
I spent like the last 5 minutes trying to say that, but like you summed it up in like one sentence.
You were far more eloquent about saying it. But it's true. Like, yeah. I think whether or not you've had, and I'm quite jealous of the people who find their like true love and they're with them forever. But for the reality of most people, that's not the case.
I always wonder about the people who are like, you know what? We met in high school. We fell in love. We are just in love today as we were 30 years ago. And I'm like, you are a little curious about like what it's like to date someone. Like, I'm the Dev. I'm like, look, we've done this for 4 years. It was great. But like, what? Like, I would want to know what it's like to date other people. I don't know if I could be in that space where I just did not know what it was like. I would have to try out some new crushes or something. I would have to. So
I've had a lot of relationships. So same.
Yeah.
And the thing is, everybody is so wildly different too.
That's true.
I've never dated anybody the same.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. I misunderstood. My cousin and I talk about this all the time. It's like we think, okay, let me ask you this question. You're saying everyone's wildly different, but is there like a common thread though that you can find in all of those people?
That I can admit during a live?
That's my favorite answer. I'm just gonna read between the lines. But
yes, they're all funny.
And see, so it's like, yeah, you're dating these different people, but there's something about you that's attracting like people that carry like the same trait. So, and that goes back to you. Like, a lot of times I think that when we get in like multiple relationships that are super toxic, super unhealthy, that there is something inside of us that is that's attracting that. And like the only way to sort of cure that and attract something different is to like change who we are inside for the better. So I don't know.
It's true. Also, maybe that just means that I'm not funny.
No, I think it means you are okay. So like if you for you to even appreciate humor and funny people, you have to have like a good sense of humor, I feel like. Because otherwise you're gonna be like, can you stop with the jokes? I'm annoyed. You know, you've met those super serious people who are just
They scare me. I don't know. I don't know how. Like, can you imagine? No, I couldn't.
I can't live in that. I can't live in that space. Like people either love me or they hate me, and it really is like based on how almost like childlike they are. If they can take my childlike humor, then okay, it's like cool. But it's some people who are like, get her out of the room. I'm done with this.
So skipping right ahead to another really fun question. Obviously, this premise is right for love triangles.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I have never, ever experienced one of those. Did you take any experience from your personal or famous love triangles? Was it Love is Blind?
No, I wish I could like use that as a reference, but I wrote the bulk of this before those were dropping. But no, I think it comes from so for Layla, this is like last chance before I leave high school. But the way I date, when you know, like I'm single and everything, and I always like tell my friends, I'm like, look, this is what you do. Like you do almost like a pyramid, and it's like, all right, I'm talking on the phone to a bunch of people. Cut the people that like, you know, just they're acting creepy on the phone or like they're doing this or that. And I start like whittling people down. And then I have like the people that I'm going to go on a date with. And then I'm like, I don't know. And then, you know, like, so, and it's funny because if you do the numbers game like that, you always weed out really bizarre behaviors that you might have excused if you would just like put all your eggs in like that one basket. It can be a little like, I don't know, sometimes I cut people a little too soon, but like, and also this was in my younger days. I don't even know if there's enough people right now like for me to play this game. Like, let's keep it real. But I literally whittle people down until I get this like number one person. I'm like, you know what? I really like you. And we've gotten the time to like get to know each other as they've like moved up the ranks. And so, I don't know. My longest relationships have been like that. I don't know if they know that they started out as like 10 people, but I've always treated it like a dating show because I mean, what are you gonna do?
I love that. You survived all of your partners. I appreciate that.
It's like one guy like sent me a text of himself or like a video of himself shadowboxing. Cut. Like immediate cut.
What is shadowboxing?
Shadowboxing is just when you're just like
science
punching the air. It was very inappropriate. Like, no. So and honestly, if he had been my only option, I might have overlooked that. And then I might have been introduced to like other bizarre, like there was no reason for the shadow box. Like, I don't even know what he was trying to show me, but I don't know because
he was not a boxer. We're going with that. He was not a boxer.
No, he was like, I forgot what he even did, but it was not boxing. Please, no. So,
welcome back, Amanda, by the way.
Thank you. Sorry, we have technical difficulties over here because, you know, technology hates me.
Yeah, no, he wasn't a boxer, and you survived him. He deserved it. Now I kind of want to know what he did and whether or not you still have the video. We'll chat after the chat. Not a problem.
I probably do though. I probably have it in an old phone. Or
It's
in a
like
group chat.
cloud saved.
Right. I'm like, it's probably somewhere, but it was so unnecessary. And then I even had friends at the time that was like, you're gonna like not talk to him because he's shadow boxed. But these are the same people who excuse things like that. And then they're like 3 years later, they're like, whoa, this person. And I'm like, you should have let him go at like, the first sign.
He
of
just has a
something
TikTok
strange.
now, and it's just him shadowboxing to like weird music on TikTok, or like trending music, like Miley Cyrus. I can buy myself flowers.
I mean, oh my God. It was just maybe he was trying to show me that he was like athletic because he like actually wasn't even athletic. So it was just like
Wow.
what is the point? I don't know.
Now I'm starting to kind of feel sorry for him, so we need to move into another question. Number 8, Amanda. I'm trying really hard not to like.
I dropped things while trying to fix my phone. So we love the representation in this novel, including Layla being bi. Why was that important for you to include?
Because you know what? I feel like well, number one, because my all-time dream, just to let everyone know, is to like somehow make it to the Penguin Random House Pride float in like the like I'm like, listen, I want to be a rainbow icon. Like someone give me a flag and let me like dance on the float at the Macy's Day Parade or something. I don't know.
With your moon boots.
With my moon boots, and I will get rainbow ones. Let's do it. But also, I love the way that things are happening. I love that each generation is treating being gay or bisexual or lesbian or non-binary, like the gender norms are like retro and just we don't, like I love how we're moving toward a space where we don't have to have a big coming out story. We don't have to make this like a very special episode. For me, it was very important for me to show these characters just living their lives, and this just happens to be their sexuality. This just happens to be one part of them. Like I don't even think we find that out about Layla until she starts like picking her crushes, and then you're like, wait, like, oh, Eva, okay, like, so I feel like when I was in high school, it was like right on the cusp of people being like, yeah, this is who I am. What are you gonna do about it? And like now, and like I don't want to take away from the fact that like, this is a journey for some people, and for some people coming out is like a really difficult thing. But I feel like now more than ever, you can just be. And actually, the people who are judging that are like, they need a very special episode of like, let's sit you down. Like, what is happening? Like, they're getting the side eye. I love it. I love it. Because
As
why
a
are we
queer
judging
person
anybody in the first
myself,
place?
I enjoy that.
You said what?
Sorry, as a queer person myself, I very much enjoy that.
Yeah, like, and also it was very intentional how I created Bree. Bree, first of all, is a character. Like, she's just her personality is just funny to me, but she's also a representation of the masculine presenting lesbians that I went to high school with. And she's for some reason, and like I said, I like the time period in which I went to high school was like there was a large group of like rainbow kids that were still like in the closet. Actually, some of my best friends, we all were just like at the school not knowing each other yet, and like we grouped up after high school. But it was also a time where people were becoming very okay with who they were. And I can tell you, like, our entire, not entire, but most of the girls basketball team in my high school, they were the stars of our school. Like, when I tell you, they got girls like nobody's business. Like, they were like celebrities in our school. And so when I looked at that, I'm like, I do understand that like some people have a really hard time just being authentically themselves. But to see that on that level, where it was like, not only am I myself, but I'm like getting your girl and getting your girl, and like, hey, I'm like dating. I'm dating and dating heavily. I wanted to show that on the page because I saw that. And I was like, oh, this is, so I don't know. I thought that was very special to see in high school. And because they had that confidence, I would like to, I should like, I mean, we're all on Facebook together. Like, I should ask, like, were there moments where you felt like, yeah, you were like stars at our school, but was it still backlash? And was it backlash from us as the students, or was it backlash from maybe like teachers who lived in another generation who are like, oh, you need to wear a dress, or like whatever, like, I wonder. But it hasn't been a conversation, at least for me. Like, some of, like, they were my friends. Like, it hasn't been a conversation because that it was just the norm. They were like, this is just who I am. And we were like, okay, So that's why Bree was created. It was like paying homage to like the cool girls at my school.
You're still friends with them on Facebook?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are they still cool? Are they
cool? Actually, like, some of them like went overseas to play ball, and like, I mean, they're still popping online. So I'm like, this did not go downhill for you guys. Like, so, but I love that. Like, they did not have a shortage of dates. I will tell you that. They did not. And actually, I feel like there were girls who were saying like, oh no, I'm straight, but like they kind of weren't. And their like coming out party was dating the girls on the basketball team, and like nobody was saying anything. I don't know. Maybe it's because I live on like, DC is just its own special like area where, I don't know. It was a good time. Well, that's one of the highlights of high school, that was happening, and it was just good for them. Yeah.
So ultimately, would you say that your experiences of high school were more positive than the negatives?
Oh no. Oh God, no.
Okay.
Darn,
I was hoping to end.
I caught myself in the middle of saying that's what made high school great. No, it wasn't. It was great for them. It was great for the girls on the basketball team who they were dating everybody, having the best time ever. I was not a cool kid, so no. And it's funny because some of my best friends were there, but we hadn't gotten to know each other yet. And we were all having a terrible time. So we bond with that fact.
So you can look back on it fondly in a horrible sense. Yeah.
Sometimes we talk about
my positive spin.
Sometimes we talk about the terrible times, and it is like a little funny because we have that like space and distance, but like, yeah, no.
It probably made you a funnier, more creative person, though.
It gave you more stories for sure. Yeah.
So I have two very important questions, three actually, but I'm going to leave the very, very important one to the end.
Okay.
Firstly, what do you hope readers take away from Last Chance Dance?
I really hope that readers take away just not every sad moment or disappointment or setback is forever. there's always space for new beginnings, renewal, that we have the power to take charge of our own lives, and that we never know, like, we can attract a certain thing, but it's also, to me, there's value in giving people a chance that, like, you might not have, like, dated or thought like was an option. Sometimes you have a type, right? And then, like, you go, oh, I wouldn't date that person, but that person that you didn't date might end up being, like, best person ever for you.
As long as they don't shadow box.
Right. No shadow boxing.
The second one I'm going to answer because, Kristen, I know that you're going to ask. Readers can get signed copies of Lakita Wilson's book, Last Chance Dance, from Politics and Prose in DC. And you can find that and shop online at politics-prose.com. So there, see, I didn't forget. I would have, they would have let me know.
Really?
Oh, yes.
I love Politics and Prose. So.
Thanks, Jordan. You're welcome, Kristen. And then, most importantly, who do you hope wins Perfect Match?
God, I just...
Or we just like
who I hope loses, because I just want Bartiz to just go away. Like, I want to see him. I want to hate watch Bartiz.
I was really upset because Dom was like devastated. He was like so nice.
Why am I blanking on Dom? Why am I blanking on Dom?
Dom, because he got played
by
Francesca.
Oh, that Francesca's a character. Yeah, no, I much prefer the characters who just get under my skin. So they're much more memorable to me. So I don't know. Maybe I like drama. Maybe I am the drama. I don't know.
I think we are all the drama. So, Lakita, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Yeah, this has been fun.
I'm going to hit you up after the chat for the shadow boxing video. And, somebody says Politics and Prose is a great bookstore.
I love them.
Though I'm biased towards busboys and poets because I work there. These names are remarkably good.
And Busboys and Poets is in the book. Like, they go on a date to Busboys and Poets. I love it that much.
That is a great name.
The crab cakes.
No, that's a phenomenal name. So in DC has the best bookstore names.
I know. Like, Busboys and Poets. I have a long love affair with Busboys and Poets. Like, I have just my 20s, my third, like, love that place.
And these are independents, folks. So go spend your money at independent bookstores. We love that. And thank you to the Nest for joining us. We love having you here. If it wasn't for you, none of us would be here this evening. So much appreciated.
Including me.
Our next author chat is happening on Friday, February 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. And we'll be chatting with Kaylin Bayron, who is the author of My Dear Henry. So that's going to be amazing. Stay tuned and watch the Nest for any more news. And we hope you have a great night. So bye now.
Bye.